Hey everyone, we have Coach Forbes with us. We'll start with an opening statement and go to questions.
Okay, I thought we got off, we got off to a great start. I think we were 14-2 in the first four, and then we got off to a great start in the second half. I think it was 11-3. Those are important times in the game, of every game, and we really did well during that time. We had to adjust at halftime defensively. We went to monstering the post. Monster means we double teamed Curry, and when the game was on the line, we did a really good job of taking him out. Even though he had a great game, he's a really good player. He hurt us up there last time. When we force teams to miss, we get out in transition, and we're a really good offensive team in transition. We got to the line a lot tonight. We converted at the line. We shot a really high percentage. You know, I just thought it was a really good overall game. They made a good. They came back like I knew they would in the first half, but in the second half, we really came out and played really well. We only had 7 turnovers till the end of the game there, and that was a huge deal. We had 1,000 students at the game tonight, which is incredible. We've had over 11,000 students here for the year, which is more than since 2009, and we still have another game left to play, which is a huge game on Wednesday, senior night. We really want to fill the arena. Credit to all the fans in our community that came out. We had tremendous energy in the building, and it's fun to be back in the Joel. I'll open up for questions.
Steve, a desperate Wake Forest team's pretty good team. I mean, did you see that sense of urgency that kind of you guys had from the beginning? I mean, that just, I guess, comes after a loss. I
think so, John. Give them credit for being resilient and bouncing back from a tough road loss at Clemson on Wednesday. Went through some adversities. We had some guys step up that hadn't played a lot of minutes. Cameron Hildreth was huge off the bench for us during the game. I thought Matthew played fine. Losing Dream hurts us defensively. It doesn't give us the opportunity to play as big as we like to play sometimes, but that's why you have depth and why you have guys ready to play. And so, yeah, I thought we played with an edge. I'm not going to call it desperation, but I thought we played with a great edge tonight.
Steve, given you guys led by 20 in the first half and it was down to 8 at halftime, was the halftime more about fire and brimstone, or was it about not panicking and coming out strong in the second half?
Probably both. I was pretty animated at halftime, to be honest. And it wasn't just me. The assistant coaches were really animated as well, and rightfully so. We didn't run great offense to end the half, but really our offense wasn't the problem. We had 44 points at halftime. That's enough. We weren't defending. And then when they score, we have to take it out of the net. That gave them a chance to play some zone. One of the problems with zone for our team is, we are who we are, right? Every team has strengths and weaknesses, and we can scheme all we want, but we have to be able to drive the zone, and we have to be able to pass against the zone. And we struggle with that a little bit, but that's just who we are. And every team has strengths and weaknesses. We were really trying to get it to Dallas in there in the first half. We just did a really poor job of getting it to him. And then he went on his 4 for 4 from 3. He decided I'll just step out and shoot threes. I thought he played great. Jake played great. They all did.
Steve, how big of a difference maker was Isaiah Musius tonight?
Oh, big. I mean, he got us off. He got us off to a great start. I think he made 3 threes to start the game. He's become one of the better defenders in our league. He's toughened up. He rebounds the ball. He's got tremendous spirit. He's a great communicator. He's a leader. And so we need that. We missed it. We missed him Wednesday night. And I'm real happy for him, even though it's not done, but he had 12 points, 4 rebounds. He didn't turn the ball over. He played a really solid floor game, and Cam came in for him some. And what Cam have? He had 8 points. So we got 20 points pretty much out of that position. He was 3 for 4. I thought he played really well too.
Steve, you talk about Dallas's game and going 4 for 4. He hits that 3 late in the game and then gets back on the other end to knock the ball out of bounds. And how quick was the decision to to get him out then so he could get his curtain call.
Yeah, I mean, he deserved it, right, Les? That's an unbelievable play. That's a very unselfish play. And that's a deep corner three for a 7-foot guy to sprint all the way down the floor and knock it out of bounds. What a great play. What a great guy. It was time to get him out. You know, Dallas has the knees of a 75-year-old. No offense to anybody who's 75 in here, but we needed to get him out. And it was a great time to get him out. He deserved the curtain call. I did call him Tragic Johnson there late when he tried to drove it from the top one time and then tried it again. And I said, hey, man, we might need to put that away. But I thought he played with great spirit. And he didn't play great Wednesday night. And he came back like a good player does, and he played really well.
Do you have any indication yet on Hadim C when he might be able to be back with you guys?
You know, we're trying. Hadim's working really hard at trying to get back on the court. He had an MRI, it was negative, which is great news. Our training staff's working really hard with him. He wants to play. Obviously, he's a senior, but you know, we're not going to do anything to hurt him either. But he's moving better. We'll see on Wednesday. You know, it'll probably be a game time decision. But for the sake of our team and for him, I hope he's able to go. And if he's not, hopefully we'll have him ready for the ACC tournament.
Steve, you talked about your training staff. I wanted to ask you a little bit about Damari and his comeback. It hasn't really been talked about that much, but just him getting out there 7 months after an Achilles surgery and all that. I mean, what's that been like?
It's been amazing. You know, it's just added to our depth, you know, and Damari has really good spirit too. He's a very good teammate. The guys like him. And he's a very talented player. He's just not going to be in elite condition this year, John, you know, and for him to be the player that he's going to be in this league, he needs to be in elite condition, but he can do so many things for us. Listen, he's a great shooter, but he's a really good passer and he's unselfish with that, but you know, he gets tired, but I didn't expect him to play this year. I had no indication that he probably would, but then as we got closer to Christmas, he was moving really well, and that's a credit to him and the hard work he did in his rehabilitation, and Mark Armour and our trainer, who's unbelievable, and our medical staff. You know, those guys, they did an unbelievable job of getting him back out on the court.
Hey, Coach, congrats on the win.
Thanks.
My question is, because Kadeem and Dallas are so experienced and quick compared to Marsh, what are the main things that you tell him to focus on, or what's the main focus to make sure there's not a drop off when he's in there defensively?
Great question. He's got to really be engaged in the ball screen defense. It's like in football, the center calls a lot of he calls a lot of the blocking coverages, right? In basketball, the 5-man calls all the ball screen coverages, and he's got to call them quick, and he's got to be confident in it. And he's evolving in that. Matt doesn't have a real booming voice, and so he's got to become a better communicator. But the thing with Matt is he just has to give ground and then meet him at the rim, and then he's got the advantage at the rim. But the most important thing is to communicate the ball screen, get us in the right coverage, spy the ball, get back to his man, and then go grab that thing with two hands, which he's really good at doing. And Matt's going to be a really good player, fellas. He's only a freshman. And so, you know, he's got a tremendous upside to his game.
Hey, Coach, what would you grade your team on defensively tonight?
Well, you know, they shot a pretty good percentage, but I thought, the first 10 minutes of the game, we were really good. I don't think we were really good the last 10 minutes of the first half. I thought we were outstanding. Probably, I don't know, the first 12, 15 minutes of the second half. You know, I like to be able to play for 40. That's 3 games in a row. We're up around 50%, but you know, they only were 3 for 18 from 3. And so, you know, we'll go back and watch it. I'm sure there's some things we can do better. Sidney Curry gave us a lot of problems, but he's quick and he's a bull in the china shop. He's my type of guy. He's a tough guy. But I thought when we had to in the second half, the monster really bothered him.
Steve, are you allowed to have Matt and Cam on the court at the same time, both being from England, or how does that work?
Well, you know, that's a good question. I have a rule a lot of times where two freshmen can't be on the same side of the court, let alone be on the court together. So, yeah, those guys have a lot of experience. They got a lot of international experience. They played together internationally. They've played in Europe. So, I'm proud of those guys. They've stayed with it all year. Matt as you guys know, he didn't come here all summer. He missed 8 weeks in the summer. He was playing really well, got a concussion, missed 5 weeks. The kid missed 13 weeks, but he changed the North Carolina game. He played well against Clemson. He helped us tonight, and he's going to continue to get better and better. And while we're on the subject of Europe, obviously my heart goes out to people in Ukraine, and I don't think people understand how much it affects other people. Antanas is from Lithuania. His mom lives in Vilnius, and he's really on edge, even though fortunately that hasn't carried that direction. But, it's a tough time for those kids, from people living in Europe. And I've been very attentive to that with our team.
Do we have any more questions for Coach? All right. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Thanks, Steve.
Welcome. Okay, we have Dallas Walton, and we'll open the floor to questions.
Dallas, just walk me through. You nailed the three. You get back on defense, knock the ball out of bounds, and then you get called out of bounds, called off the court by Coach Forbes, and get that rousing ovation from the crowd. What was that moment like?
It was special, man. It was super special. I mean, the city of Winston-Salem have been waiting for a long time for this, and it was glad we were able to come out and deliver a great game for them, especially with all that's at stake right now in our season. And it felt good. It felt good. The fans showed out huge tonight, and I want to shout out to them. I know there's a lot going on in our world right now, and to have their support out there for us means the world. So thank you.
Dallas, where did you guys get that edge tonight? Coach called it a little bit of edge. Was it just after the loss to Clemson, or where'd that come from, you think?
I mean, it was a little bit of both. I mean, it was a lot of different factors factored into it. We knew that we weren't playing our best basketball recently. We would come out one half very slow and then have to turn it up then the second half. And it was a little while it's been a little while for us since we've been able to put two halves together. And so we knew that it was either now or never that we really catch our stride. And Coach Forbes had us inspired tonight, just like he does every night for us. It was nice. It was nice to get the start that we did and be able to maintain it throughout the game.
Alice, you tied a career high. Do you wish you could have petitioned Forbes to go back in there and get another couple points?
Hey, I didn't even know I had that many points, but at that point in time, I was like, I'm good. I'm good. It's not even that I don't even want to play. It's just, I'm getting older now, but I'm playing. But no, it was I didn't know I had that many points, and like I'm not a big like stat oriented guy anyway, so it didn't really matter to me.
Coach Forbes says your knees are like 75 years old. Do you take?
Oh my gosh, he said that. That's crazy. That's crazy. My knees hurt sometimes, but I'm not a 75-year-old knees. You guys got to get on him about his bald head or something like that. But no,
Watch yourself, Dallas.
Yeah. No, it's a lot of rehab that goes into these knees, and a lot of strengthening, and a lot of post-game recovery and therapy that I got to do. And it's a lot, but I make sure I do it just so my knees can kind of stay around the age of 24.
Dallas, you didn't take more than 2 threes at a game ever at Colorado. I'm curious, your increased quantity of taking threes and obviously your success at it. Did you improve your shot that much over the summer, or is this coaching staff just giving you the confidence and encouraging you to take that shot more?
It's both. So at Colorado, I knew I had that part of my game in my bag. But it just when you fall into a system, you may not get to showcase it as much. When I came here, it was a selling point to them as a recruit that I had this in my game and I was going to work at it just so I could be a consistent and a consistent threat from three for this team. And I worked on it all through summer. Worked on it all through the fall, even when season started, I'm working on it every day because it was something that I knew I could do. And it was something that I worked on, and I worked on it a lot more once I got to Wake Forest than I did in the past. But I mean, it was something that's always been a part of my game, and the coaches instill confidence in me, and my teammates instill confidence in me to step up and shoot those threes and make them, knock them down. I mean, I want to be a shot maker, not a shot taker. So it's something I work on a lot.
Dallas, obviously, senior night's Wednesday night. And I know everybody's, I think, going to go through the process of senior night. But do you know what comes for you after all this? What happens to you on, mid-April of this year?
I don't know what the future holds, but all I'm concerned about right now is NC State on Wednesday night, and then beat them, and then wherever the cards may lay after the ACC tournament, during the ACC tournament, they'll lay. But all I'm focused on right now is finishing out this season, and that's something I'll talk about at the end of the season.
Do we have any more questions for Dallas?
Go ice your knees, Dallas.
Without a doubt.
Thanks, Dallas. Thanks, everyone.